Today, class, we're going to talk about shoulder dislocations. The structure of the shoulder. There are three main bones that you need to know. You need to know the humerus, you need to know the clavicle, and the scapula. The major joints of the shoulder. You have the sternoclavicular joint, which is right here, and it's the clavicle where it meets the sternum. You have the acromioclavicular joint, where the clavicle meets the acromion of the scapula, right here. The glenohumeral joint, it's the ball and socket joint. And you also have the scapulothoracic, where the scapula meets the ribs in the back of the chest, which would be right there. Here are some ligaments and things that you need to know of the shoulder. You have the corticoclavicular ligament, which is in red. It's hard to see in this picture, but it runs right here. You also have another ligament, the acromioclavicular ligament, that runs at the back of your clavicle right there. And then you also have the coracoacromial ligament, which runs right here. You have the biceps tendon, which is in yellow, kind of self-explanatory. You have the labrum, which is right here in green, if you can't see that. You have the superior glenohumeral ligament. You have the middle glenohumeral ligament, and you have the inferior glenohumeral ligament, which runs right there in blue. The statistics on injury and condition. You have usually two dislocations that are most common. You have the anterior and the posterior. The anterior is 95% of all shoulder dislocations. Like we said in class, if you're skiing down a hill and you grab something and it popped out the front, that would be anterior. And that's the most common that's shown. You have the posterior dislocation, which is the back, and that's 2 to 4% of posterior dislocations that happen. Another common injury you have would be rotator cuff. Those muscle tears occur usually 14 to 63% of anterior dislocations. Those are most common in older people. After you have a shoulder dislocation, your chances of damaging your shoulder with having another shoulder dislocation are 60%. Physiotherapy, that helps, but that doesn't lower your percentage of having another shoulder dislocation. They can happen even if you have that. The only way to really lower your percentage of having another shoulder dislocation would be to have surgery on it, and that would lower it to 5%. But with that being said, you can still have a shoulder dislocation with having surgery. I think that brings me, yes, I'm done. So that's the end of my presentation.